Jack, we've been doing a lot of episodes. What hasn't changed since episode 1?
Nothing. It's all new. That's it.
Right.
No, there's
A few
some
things,
cold
right?
email pillars that we keep coming back to, and that will probably hold true 7 years into the future.
And
More
this
than
is the
that, probably.
thing. This is what Jeff Bezos was saying. Is like I'm often, asked what is the future, but I'm almost never asked what hasn't changed. But if you optimize for the thing that hasn't changed, like for example, for him, he was like, faster shipping and stuff like that. Imagining in the future, people say, "Oh, I wish this come, 2 days later." It's like it's not really realistic. And I was thinking, like, is there some stuff like similar to that in, in the realm of cold email, like or cold outreach, in general? Like,
Mhm.
is there things that hasn't changed that will be still true in 10 years, and so we can optimize for? And I think that's what this episode is about.
I have a list of 9. How many are on your
Holy
list, Jeremy?
shit! I am like 6, and there's one like I'm not entirely sure.
All right, so let me go first since I'll have a couple extra.
Let me put the timer.
All
There
right.
you go.
Now, Jeremy, my list ranges from palm in the forehead obvious to slightly strange,
Cool.
but I'll start with the standard ones that might also be on your list. Maybe not.
Yeah,
So
what's
the
your
first
first one?
thing, it's obvious, but sell something people want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did that make it on your list?
Kind of slightly different, but I'm sure
Yeah.
you're going to appreciate it.
Okay. Yeah, I want to hear which one was kind of related on your list, but in short, you're never going to have success with cold email or any cold outreach if you're trying to, you know, force something on somebody they don't want or need. That's sales 101.
That makes sense. That's
Mm,
probably why, there's more and more intent by, data to actually just try to answer and solve this problem, you know.
yeah.
But you're right,
Whether intent data solves that
or
or
not. Yeah,
not,
it's a
I think
different
is
question.
still
I,
to
I
be
agree.
debated. What do you
So
got?
yeah, the thing that was actually close to that is basically craft a really good list of, people who will be interested by what you have to sell, which is very close to what you're saying, basically.
Right. Now let me push back a little bit because let's go back to 2017. This is the year, by the way. 2017 was an interesting year for cold email because
Far West.
it was still Wild West, and yet, Jeremy, and yet companies like Zen Leads, which is what Apollo became, were launched around that time. So we had this Wild West deliverability mixed with the first time you could download thousands of emails, whether they're validated or not, doesn't matter. And you could send to a bunch of them. So I thought about it and I was like, I don't know if the list was such a thing back in the day. What's your take on that? Did you really need a
No,
list of
but
people that wanted?
that's a good one. But my take on it was pretty much to what you're saying is like if you want reply, you have to send to people who actually are interested.
Correct.
And that's basically what I was
Correct.
saying. Like, but you said it in a much better way, right?
Okay.
And I remember, yeah,
Uh,
2017, you could send millions of emails and then maybe one or two would
that was so
reply.
much fun. That was so much fun. It was just fun and maybe some hard work, but really it was very little thinking involved. Just
Look,
like,
I had
oh
some
man,
people just apologizing for, not replying to my first email.
amazing, amazing,
Like,
amazing.
not happening anymore, right?
What a world. All
Anyway,
right, Jeremy, I got another one for you.
good.
Rule, uh, whatever. I won't number them because I'll lose track. But my next rule is make it easy, and meaning
Ooh,
make it easy to read and make it easy to reply to. You
that's a
got to
good
make
one.
it easy for the prospect, or else you're dead in the water, right?
That's a perfect one. It's like, in the future, there will be never an instance that, that says like, I wish this email was more difficult to understand and read when I received
That's right.
it. That's
I would
brilliant.
now I didn't put keep it short. I didn't, but this
Yeah,
is
yeah,
kind of also on that
yeah.
umbrella. Like it should be refreshingly straightforward to know what to do next, right? Um,
Yeah, and that may mean like, maybe, just a picture in the future or whatever like type of thing, but it's like make it easy to digest Like there's no one
That's
who
right.
says like, I wish this email was more difficult to figure out, or like
Right.
that makes no sense. So that's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Cool.
Um,
Cool.
I got one that says we've always recommended since probably day one to actually focus on starting a conversation and not, using cold outreach to drive traffic, webinar registration, optimize for click and stuff like that. None of that. It was always like human connection and always try to open a channel of communication. That hasn't changed. It's not
I'm just
advertisement.
it's interesting too, because like think about, not zoom out of cold emails, like think about cold calling, think about LinkedIn outreach, even I don't know, Instagram outreach. But you're not driving clicks on those, you're getting that response first and
Mm,
foremost. That's your goal. And so this is timeless and cross channel too. All right, I got another one for you.
cool.
Be honest. Be honest, meaning it was never a good idea to mislead people with the subject line, your wife is in the hospital. Puts a bad taste in your mouth, right? It's never a good idea.
I forgot this one.
We used to see things in subject lines that made it seem like it was from their boss. It would be like forward boss's name, something like that, where we've mentioned it before, and that'll never go out of fashion, is like you
Sent from my
cannot
Samsung.
mislead.
Sent from my iPhone. It's like obviously
There you
not good.
go.
Or
Exactly. So
RE, even for you never send any email. It's like,
that's what I'm talking about. Right. So be honest, hasn't, it'll never not serve you.
that's a good point. We always say
Mm,
like, starting a relationship on misleading, it's never a good, good
right.
thing, right?
And I think the most eloquent way you've put it is the subject line is a contract
Yeah.
of what you can expect when you open that message.
Yeah, that's what we came up to after a few hundred episodes to say, yeah, look, that should be. So if it's a quick question, it should be just a quick question, not 6 page. It's like,
Exactly right.
yeah, maintain. Okay, that makes sense. I would say, okay, so some of those things are a little bit different. I would say always protect your main domain. That's something that never changed. We never actually say like do the outreach on your own domain, even for your own domain may be good, even for you're going low volume. We always say have a different domain, even for maybe your same domain, but it could be like at, for example, marketing.quickmail.com instead of actually just being at quickmail.com. Like always use a subdomain, never actually use your main domain. And because
Right.
you could be blacklisted and then you're screwed. It's like your
Right.
seatbelt, your security seatbelt.
Be safe. All right, I got another one for you. Make
Shit.
money. It's always had
Ah,
to make money, because if it doesn't, then like you're going after low volume per sale, a low amount per sale. I don't think cold email is going to be sustainable. Like I think you really need to have significant um, deal sizes for what you are doing through cold outreach. And I think that's always been the case. If you're selling a $12 hoodie or a t-shirt, it's going to be hard to make that work back in the
yeah.
past and in the future.
If I'm thinking about it, our recommendations always have been like, if you have, effectively a $12 product, you go VIP, you go like to a distributor or someone who can then,
Which
reach out
is a
to a
big
lot of
deal
people.
size if you
But
get
then
that
it
distributor.
becomes, you're absolutely right. Then it
Right.
becomes one. I never really think of it. So what would you say, like in 10 years, we'll think like there is no way.
Make sure that you continue to get sizable deals from your
Or
cold email and cold outreach. Yeah.
return on investment, right? In that sense, return on
Yeah.
investment of your time or your efforts.
I could have called this easy ROI. It should really move the needle from
Interesting.
a revenue generation standpoint. I don't think that's going anywhere.
I I will sort of like push back challenge, but not that hard. I would say like, what about like people who just want to extend their network, like, reaching out to founder or reaching out to, other people in their industry or
And I
whatever
would
type
say
of thing
that's
just to
fine,
extend their
but what's
network.
the end game, Jeremy? To buy
Of
a
course, the end game
company?
is always,
Yeah.
but it may not be the goal of the cold outreach. The goal of the cold outreach is so that we become accustomed or like a relationship,
Mhm.
at some point.
Mhm.
So I don't know, but
Well,
you're
you have
most
a
of the
good
time,
point.
yeah, most of the
You
time it's
have a
about
good
selling.
point, but I'll use this segue to say if you want to make more money with your cold outreach, go to salesbread.com. We're done for
That
you.
hasn't
Lead
changed in 10
generation
years.
service. That's right. We'll bring you 1 lead per day. If you like the sound of that, head over to salesbread.com. Check out what we got. Now, timer's counting down, but I'll give
Yeah,
Jeremy
do it.
spot. If you need rock solid cold email outreach platform, look no further than quickmail.io. The support's great. Okay.
That's true.
Um,
All right.
let's
Moving
carry
on.
on. I got add social proof. That'll never go out of fashion.
Oh, that's a good one. Like, could you actually send an email and say, I wish I didn't add as many social proof, or I didn't add
You
social
you
proof?
could you could
Probably not.
overdo it. We've seen it being overdone, and that goes back to make it easy. You don't want to like confound the person with so much information. But I love social proof. It is arguably the second most important influence factor
How
next
about,
to reciprocity.
backing up your claim or backing up stuff, right? Whether it's social proof, authority, whatever it is.
Right.
Okay, that's a good one. I wish I sent an email without backing up anything I'm saying. Like, probably never happens,
Never
right?
happen.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a good
You got any
one.
more on your list? I got one more.
That one is probably something we could discuss a little bit. Like, our recommendation on sending low volume never really changed, to be honest. Even for QuickMail can handle like really shit ton of emails. We always recommended go low volume, right? Don't think
Music to
we
my
ever
ears. What
recommended
can I
going.
say?
Yeah, I don't think we ever recommended like,
Even back in the day,
yeah.
probably not.
Even
Yeah.
in, yeah, even 2017, when you could send like millions of email and never have any problem, we always say like, send low volume.
Amazing.
Interesting.
Oh my gosh.
And yet I
When
build a
we
system
invented
that can that can scale with the inbox
exactly.
rotation and stuff. It's like, oh, weird.
All
Yeah,
right, we're past a minute, so let me do 2 and 1 here.
go for it.
It's never going to be a good idea to send to gatekeepers. So
That's a
I
good
say
one.
avoid gatekeepers. Like you're never going to hit an intern for a good pitch opportunity. Like I just don't see that happening. I really don't. And then the second one is probably the one I should have mentioned first because it's like gold plated, yes. And that is follow up. You're going to
Oh
always have to
yes.
follow up.
Oh man, this was so
Come on.
easy. Yeah, I wish I didn't follow up. Like, no, yeah, like obviously. Nice. That's a good one actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
For
All
me, I
right, cool.
just add, verify who you're sending to, like verify the email actually exists. Otherwise, you're just wasting everything. Um, was that since the beginning that recommended that? I wasn't quite sure.
Well, I think it was okay. So and we're over time, but let's nerd out for a little bit. There was
Nice.
always email verification tools. Like I
Mhm.
remember MailChimp would recommend that you scrub your list, and we're like, why? Like, what's it? Okay, what is it like? Email decay? Like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm still getting lots of opens. I'm not worried, but it just became more and more of a good idea. So I think it's always been, but increasing in importance as time went on.
Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah, and I
If
remember
we
the good old time where people were actually using MailChimp in order to verify emails were working on that before using QuickMail.
Gosh, I remember this too. Let's go down memory lane. But I would have sales calls, talk to a company with a sales department, a marketing department. Usually I'd speak to marketing and they'd say, yeah, we're currently using MailChimp for our cold
Oh
outreach.
gosh,
We
yes.
send we upload this list of 4,000 operations VPs and we send out a message and we're getting 0.3% reply rate.
Yes,
What do you think
exactly.
we can do to optimize things? I
I
used to
remember
love
that
those
time.
calls because
Yeah.
I'd tell them about QuickMail and they're like, there wasn't even a
Damn, I can
category
send from
for
my
sales
inbox.
automation.
That's right. That's right.
There used to not be that. And so, and before that, it was Marketo, which was like the
Oh
quasi
yeah.
sales.
We had plenty of clients from Marketo, I
That was a
remember.
good
As soon as I
time.
saw them, it's like,
But
holy hell, we could do it this way. It's like,
you're,
yes.
yeah. What would you say to 75% open rates and 20% reply? Like any Marketo
Yeah,
person's going
numbers
to
were
lose their mind.
crazy.
In fact, let's go one more memory lane, then we really have to wrap this episode. But I remember in 2000, shoot, just before you and I met, Jeremy, this may
Right.
have been 2014,
Yeah.
2013, maybe. I went to a networking event for email marketers in San Diego, whatever. I had no expectations, but I met someone there and they're like, oh, you do like direct response. You should check out this thing called Marketo. Like people are just like sending to cold buyers. Like have never opted in on a list and like they write back and it's kind of like, it's a thing, you know, some people are charging money for. That was the first hint that I got with automating this thing. But anyways,
Thanks for
this was a
sharing.
fun cast. Yeah, a good detour. But no, we covered some stuff. I think there's some takeaways. For the rest, there's course.quickmail.io, which is, you know, actual tangible, do this to send like a cold email agency in-house. Use it to train up your team.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I think we nailed it. Right.
All right. I think we nailed it too. And if you think we
Pat
nailed
on
it
our
too,
back, you know.
go over to what do we do? I don't know.
Send an
Leave a
email.
comment/review, send an email,
Yeah.
podcast@quickmail.io. Say hi.
There you go. All right.
All
Thanks,
right.
Jack.
See you, Jeremy. Is it the recording?
I know. I'm screwing it up every time.
Yeah, that's
All right.
okay.
Bye.
Yeah.